Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be looking at the newest addition to Rivals of Aether 2, that of course being Olympia. And this isn't going to be a tutorial video by any means. This is just going to be my first impressions. How good do I think this character is initially, and also some really basic setup that she has. And then in the coming days, I'll probably make a proper 101 video for her. But before we get into it, I just want to say that compared to Daedalus on release, this character is a lot stronger. So first thing I want to mention is her throws, and easily Olympia's best throw is going to be her up throw. She doesn't really get a ton of value out of any of the throws unless they DI it wrong, but up throw is something that you're always going to be able to get value out of. Her back throw, it's going to be like a tech chasing throw. Maybe if they DI in super bad, it's going to be like a really easy tech chase, something that you can set up to off stage as well, but I don't think it's going to be that great of a tool, especially again relative to up throw. Down throw, kind of the same thing. If they DI in bad, then you can get a combo off it, but you know, if they don't, you don't. And then forward throw is just going to be your kill throw with this character, get people off stage with positioning. So her throw game is really strong because up throw is just such an absurdly strong throw. This is kind of like a Loxodon up throw situation where you just never need another grab because you're just always going to be doing this one, even towards those higher percents. If it doesn't necessarily combo people, it's still putting people up into that disadvantage state. And being above Olympia, as you'll soon find out, is not a place that is a ton of fun. So Olympia's grab game, up throw, insane. The rest of the throws I don't think are that strong. You might be able to get a little bit of value out of them depending on DI, but I don't know why you would when you could just up throw. Next up is going to be her tilts, and her jab is just going to be the very basic jab. You're going to want to cancel it by the end of jab 3, so during jab 2 or jab 1. But jab 3 is by no means bad. It's just that you would rather get like a down tilt or an up tilt or a forward tilt, which is just going to basically be like Arcane forward tilt. It has like the exact same, not hitbox obviously, but it has the exact same niche where maybe you want to throw it out in neutral. It's going to hit pretty hard. You want to confirm it out of a jab as well towards those higher percents. Down tilt as well is definitely going to confirm into this tool. It's just a solid kind of hitting tool in not neutral necessarily, but just in general. Then you're going to have up tilt, and up tilt is a really weird one. It's going to have a spike at the back of it, and I mean, it's a lot stronger than that. Trust me, the spike hitbox is just really weird. There you go. So there's a spike hitbox at the back of it, which is a little bit awkward, but even without that spike hitbox, you're still popping people up in the air. Yeah, the DI percentages, or the way they DI rather, can be a little bit awkward, but you generally are going to be able to get a follow-up as the Olympia. And then her kind of final tilt is going to be dash attack. And to be honest, I don't think dash attack is something that you're going to be using a ton as an Olympia player. Like, you can get a follow-up off of it technically, like if you hit the right hitbox of it. I don't know why I'm not getting it at all here though. Like, it's not impossible to convert off of dash attack, but I don't know why you ever would when you have the movement that Olympia has at her disposal, and her aerials are as good as they are, plus her up throw is as good as it is. So you can elect to go to dash attack. It's not necessarily a bad choice. You can get follow-ups off of it, but I think relative to her kit, you're just going to want to run around and try to outmaneuver people in neutral. I think that's going to be the better choice. I realized I didn't really mention down tilt, but down tilt is just going to be like a really nice poking tool for her. It's not really that big hitbox-wise, but it doesn't need to be that big hitbox-wise when it has the frame data that it does. You can confirm it into up tilt, you can confirm it into F tilt, up strong, as you saw there, at higher percent. It's just going to be like a really fast, really good poking tool for Olympia. Again, the hitbox on it is small, but if it connects, you're going to get a solid follow-up. Moving on to the aerial, starting off with up air. And up air is probably the most intricate move in Olympia's kit because there's going to be a spike hitbox at the front of it. And then I think the rest of it is just one hitbox. Please correct me on that if I am wrong. But I would recommend going in the lab just to kind of understand where that spike hitbox is going to start for Olympia, because you are able to definitely get value out of it. I think that's going to be something immediately that really good Olympia players are going to be able to use up air to kind of juggle people, then track them down to the ground, and then end it with a meteor forwarder. I think that's something that could be really strong with this character. But even not using the spike, it is just an amazing juggling tool for Olympia. Its platforms are kind of ruining it for me here, but you're able to just get so much percent, and it confirms into a back air, into a neutral air, into anything that you want as the Olympia player. Up B as well, which is a really solid kill option for this character. So up air, really important move for Olympia. Amazing combo tool. I recommend that you mess around with it in the lab a little bit, just so not only you're able to combo it into itself better, because again, you get a crazy amount of damage, but also so you can better understand where that spike hitbox on it is going to happen. So when you do happen to hit it, like I just did a neutral right there, you are able to actually capitalize off of it, because you're able to capitalize off of both hitboxes. They just lead you to do very different combo routes. Next up is going to be neutral air, and this is a move that you're going to be able to get value out of both in neutral but also in the advantage state. It's a really solid combo tool for Olympia. It's going to have that multi-hit attached to it, and you are able to fastball after that first hit, especially when you have something like down tilt on the table. There are absolutely implications there. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily true that you can loop people, but it's not about the loop. It's about the mix-up that you are able to have with this neutral air, and she's got quite a lot of mix-up, may I add. You can also elect to go for a grab out of neutral air, depending on the percent windows, and that's something that I think is really strong. Just kind of chaining up throw into itself as long as you can by getting nair once and just perpetuating it. So neutral air is a really nice extension combo tool for Olympia. It's also going to be a tool that you want to kind of start a combo with and then just confirm it into one more move. Like, the percents are a little bit high here. The Edilus is DIing good, but if you ever catch someone slipping, you hit a nair at high percents, that is just going to confirm into that forward air, and you are going to be able to steal that stock pretty early. So nair, really good tool for Olympia. Highly, highly, highly recommend that once again you go into the lab with this one and fully understand the implications of it. Make sure you're able to incorporate it into your game plan. Even if it's not doing the fastball stuff, just making sure that you can fluently combo it into like an up air or even a forward air if that's all you're aiming for. I think it's something that is absolutely going to benefit you as an Olympian. Next up is going to be back air, and it's actually going to be a sex kick back air, which I've never seen this move outside of a neutral air, and I also have never seen this move implemented the way that they did, because every single time you do a back air, it turns Olympia around, and I absolutely love that. It makes using this move a little bit trickier, but it also means the implications for this move are a lot higher, and you can do some pretty cool stuff with it. Now, I am bad with Olympia. I'm not going to be able to showcase you what I want to right now, but you can just chain back air into itself over and over and over again. If you're just doing it the right way, hit balling it, it's just going to be like a super, super lethal move. But even not chaining it into itself, just using it as a tool in neutral, it's really, really strong. Pops people up nice and easy in front of you. Going to be setting them up into a forward air, into an up air, into a neutral air, depending on the percent window. Again, the sky really is the limit here as the Olympia player. You have so much variety with back air. It's such a strong tool for her. If you want to get good with Olympia, I know it sounds like a broken record at this point, but go in the lab with up air, neutral air, and back air. Fully understand how to use this moves in the character's combo game, and you're going to be like at the top percent of Olympia players. These moves are integral to her kit. They're like 70% of her combos at least. I think they're going to be like 70% of her combos, and if you can get value out of it, you're going to be doing good. And our final two aerials for Olympia are going to be down air and forward air. And those are just going to be your combo enders for this character. They're both going to hit you incredibly hard, and you can combo into both of them out of basically any of their aerials. I'd say for down air, obviously up air is going to be the easiest one to convert out of, and then for forward air, neutral air and back air are both pretty solid choices. Especially at a neutral air, you want to rob a stock, that's how you do it. You full drift in with a neutral air, go to rob that stock with the forward air. And back air as well, it's the exact same thing. Now you got to remember, back air does turn you around, so you're not going to be necessarily facing the right way unless you run after that back air, which is, again, why you should go into the lab with this move, fully understand back air, make implications of it, because if you're getting back air into back air, it's definitely not going to be stealing stocks as early as a back air into a forward air would be. So forward air, down air, this is going to be basically your combo enders, or for down air, if you want the combo to actually get reset, then of course you do have the choice to do that. And forward air, if you can end a combo with this move, I mean, obviously end a combo with this move because it hits like an absolute truck, has a spike hitbox attached on the end of it as well towards that lower part, just like on the downswing there. So yeah, Olympia's aerials are honestly all really, really strong. You are going to get value out of every single one of them in pretty much every single match that you play. Certain ones are going to be better for killing, certain ones are going to be better for neutral, and certain ones are just the best move ever made. Back air. Hey, enjoying the video? You should use code ProofBlock and sub. You're liking it so much. Moving on to the specials for Olympia, starting off with neutral special, which is very, very strong. I don't actually know how this move operated in Rivals 1, but in this game, it is going to be on a timer. If you get caught in the crystal field from any of the crystal effects, you are going to be put, I think it's like about a second or half a second that you're in that crystal area, and then as the Olympia player, obviously you're able to get a follow-up out of that. You're able to send the crystal off stage as well, just to control space. If it hits someone, the crystal does slow down, but that doesn't make it bad. Like in a situation like this is really hard to recover against. You can just set stuff up off stage, and it doesn't have to be necessarily off stage. You can put it literally against the wall. Like, imagine a Zenitburn trying to come back against this. Actually, no, you're not. So, neutral special is a really strong tool for Olympia. Now, if the opponent just hits the crystal is just going to break, and in that case, you are going to have to just wait for it to come back to you, but it's not that big of a deal. Like, you throw out the crystal whenever you can. If the crystal zone is up, the opponent is in pressure of, if you ever press B, they're just in a horrible spot. They're going to be having shield on their mind until they take a swing at that crystal, which you may be able to punish them for. It just allows Olympia to control a part of the stage without actually controlling it, but she is still effectively controlling it, and most importantly, she's putting a pressure on her opponents at all times. And then off stage is where this move I think gets like really, really broken. It's just like a guarantee. Like, if I put the crystal, well, thanks for blocking the analyst, but if I put the crystal in a certain space, like, you just have to get hit by it. Like, there's no way to recover around, that's a bad crystal, but there's no way to recover around certain crystals. You just have to hope that I mess up the timing as the Olympia player, or that you manage to hit it with your recovery before it actually goes off. So I think neutral special is an insane tool for Olympia. I think you're going to be able to get a ton of value out of it, and we haven't even talked about all the implications with it. That is because side B also interacts with neutral special, and it has kind of two ways it interacts. You're going to have the slam of side B, where if you slam someone, there is going to be the crystal effect applied to them, so that's very strong. You're also going to have it where she throws the projectile off stage like a missile. Now, I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to land it just because I'm bad, but trust me, that also acts as a way to freeze people in the crystal. They get the crystalline effect by doing so. And if you hit someone with that thing off stage, I mean, they are just absolutely going to die. You're going to be able to get a super easy dunk with a forward air, with a down air, with an up air, really whatever you want as the Olympia player. But side B is a move that has a lot of implications because it's going to be a command grab that is a confirm kit, which is so strong. You don't really have any of those in Rivals. Well, that's not true. You actually have neutral special with Crag. But spoilers, that's one of the best moves in the game for a very specific reason. Now, this isn't no Crag neutral special, but it is still a very strong tool. You're going to be able to combo it into an up tilt. They get on the platform, but you're going to want to be able to combo it into an up tilt. You can elect to go for a jab as well when someone is off stage. I like to go personally for a down air, but I don't think that neutral air or forward air is a bad choice either, depending on the percent and the DI from the opponent. And side B just offers you that extra mix that you kind of need, not necessarily need as Olympia, but will absolutely take as this character. Should also be noted, it doesn't put you into special fall, and you are able to ledge cancel it, so you can get some pretty good stuff going, maybe even make your damage output that much better with side B than it already is, and it doesn't even need to be that much better, because once you hit a side B, it just puts the opponent into such a horrible spot. It also confirms into grab. I didn't even know that, but it just put the opponent into such a bad spot, either off stage or on stage, where you really have full control as the Olympia player. So side B, it's a little bit of a risky tool to throw, just because if you do miss it, then you go kind of flying into the sunset. But it's also an amazing tool for Olympia. What I would recommend is whenever you want to go for a risky side B, do it in the crystal zone. So at least if you don't grab the opponent, you'll end up grabbing the crystal. And yeah, side B, really solid command grab. Next up is going to be side B, and this is kind of Olympia's one defensive tool, but it's a really good defensive tool. It's going to act as a kind of Ken and Ryu parry, where you get the first hit for free, you get to tank that one. Second hit, though, is going to break you out of the focus, and unlike Ken and Ryu focus, you are able to just do a massive dash out of this thing if you elect to air dodge out of it, only to the left or the right, but honestly, you're a little greedy if you're asking for anything else, because this just makes Olympia's movement insane, and it's already very good. She's just a fast character base-wise, but now you have so much more pressure in how you actually want to go for edge guard off stage. The second that someone is in a position that you think you can't be in, well, actually you can be in that position as Olympia, because her movement is so quick now. It's a really good burst tool for Olympia. It makes her movement a lot better. It's also going to, again, act as a Ken and Ryu tool, where you are going to be able to just tank that one hit. So if you think a hit is coming, you can use it to tank. If you think a multi-hit is coming, though, like you think a hit's coming, it's a multi-hit, actually you can just choose to disengage. So this is a really good defensive and offensive tool for Olympia if you want to use it as a counterattack. Of course, mainly offensive, but you can use it to make your pressure off and on stage that much more nice. And the final special for Olympia is going to be up special, and this is a really strong tool for Olympia. I'd say it's probably her best kill tool, aside from like just spiking someone or randomly blast zoning someone with a forward air. Her strong attacks are also pretty good. We'll get to that when we get to that. But you're going to be able to confirm into this move in a multitude of ways. Down tilt is going to be an obviously very basic one. Probably like the simplest one. That's why that move is in the game, to combo into that nice and easy up air, or up B, I should say. You're going to have up air, of course, also acting as a combo tool. And for the other ones, it gets a little bit more awkward. You are able to combo neutral air into it, though you are going to have to be fairly precise. Depending on the DI, you might not be able to get it. Down air, pretty easy. It's just going to be a pop-up. And then back air, it's kind of the same thing with neutral air, where you are going to need to follow up on the opponent. But it's definitely possible to get a follow-up. It's just a little bit more difficult. So up B, insane. It just kills people so incredibly early. Now, of course, there is going to be a risk attached to it because it puts you into special fall. You're not able to wall jump out of it, and you don't have a lot of drift as the Olympia player once you do that up B. You make the mistake, you fall fast, you fall hard. So you got to make sure that when you hit this up B, it's either going to be for sure killing the opponent or for sure not killing you. As long as one of those things is happening, though, you should be in a decent spot as the Olympia player. And yeah, up B, it killed people like so early. Like, that was probably bad DI from the Edalus, but also it was Edalus mid-stage at 80. Like, this move is insane. And the final thing we got to talk about with Olympia is going to be her strong attacks. And I think this is probably the weakest part of this character's kit, but the strong attacks are by no means bad. The rest of it's just really, really good. Forward strong is going to be pretty good. You're going to be able to steal stocks with that thing fairly early. If you hit it, of course, it's going to have a pretty decent startup. You're going to have up strong also with a pretty decent startup, but it is going to have a scooping hitbox, which can absolutely clip people, help you get that more strong hit. And also, I just want to say that you can absolutely combo into this move with, I don't know if neutral air 1 would actually be an appropriate combo. Like, I don't think that confirms, but back air is absolutely a strong tool. And then the final one is, of course, going to be down strong. And I think this is probably her best strong attack, not because it's the strongest, but just because there is an initial hitbox to it, which does come out fairly fast in terms of frame data. There might be some combo implications here. I personally haven't found any, but also it's like 2 hours into this character coming out, so that doesn't mean that nothing will exist. So overall, I think Olympia's strong attacks are definitely the weakest part of her kit, but they're by no means bad. So we've talked about everything. Now let's just talk about Olympia. How good do I think this character is? And I think this character is very, very good. I don't think that she's up there with like Rano, Maple, Raster. She's not quite in that tier, but I would stick her in the same tier as Zetterburn, Claren, Forsburn. She has a really solid neutral, just navigating around movement-wise, not even talking about just down B. Just like, I just think her moving around is pretty strong with the threat of side B as well. But of course, you have down B, which is a very, very good movement tool. Not only because you're just going to be able to, punch people with it, you're going to be able to block a hit, but mainly because you're able to do something like that. You're going to have neutral special as well, just to allow you to control space. And I think the main tools that you want to be throwing out in neutral as Olympia are going to be neutral air and back air. Those are just like super, super good tools, and if they clip as well, you're going to be able to get a really solid combo. But don't be afraid to throw out some side Bs as well. There's definitely high implications with that move, especially if the crystal is on the ground. You can get a little bit of mix up there. Her grab game is incredible, specifically because up throw is incredible. You should really only be up throwing as Olympia here. And yeah, I think this character is really, really good. Like a top 5 character in the game, potentially up there with the not best of the best, but close to the best of the best. And this is, again, with me playing her for only 2 hours, I haven't even thought of any of the good combos that she can do. My opinion of her is only going to get higher. The one bad thing about Olympia is I do think that her recovery is a little bit susceptible, but again, it's only a little bit susceptible because you do have access to this cancel here from down B. This is the thing that I think takes this character from being solid rush down character that has weaknesses to a very good rush down character where you are never going to be able to escape their zone. And yeah, curious what y'all think. I will be doing a 101 for Olympia in the coming days, but in the meantime, I hope that this was a good video, gave you a little bit of a summary. If there's anything I left out, got wrong,